Imagine a world buried deep underground. A city called the Sanctuary thrives where you would least expect. The people who inhabit this city are called sanctuary citizens. A giant crystal mushroom called the Beacon radiates a powerful light that illuminates the whole sanctuary. The beacon has cycles of day and night that closely imitate the sun. No citizen knows where it came from. The beacon is believed to be older than the sanctuary itself. Woods of giant mushrooms ring the beacon. Some of the mushrooms have even taken root in the river. Sanctuary citizens come here to pick mushroom spores. Different types of mushroom spores are used to make different things, like food, glue compounds, color dyes, healing salves, and even explosives. Tall buildings fill downtown in the heart of the sanctuary. A mix of business and residential buildings keeps this area pumping full of life. A shopping district full of stores sells the latest gear. It's also full of social hangout spots. The plaza is one of the most popular hangout spots in the city. This open area is right in the heart of downtown. The river cuts through the middle of the sanctuary, dividing it into two parts. Bridges run across the river, connecting the two banks. Giant marine life, like shrimp and crab, often tumble down from the waterfall. The fishermen help bring seafood to the market, but sometimes they even catch relics in their nets. Age-old stone roads crisscross the sanctuary. Major bridge works connect one bank of the river to the other. A long bridge connects the beacon to the fire temple. Throughout the beacon's day cycle, beetle taxis ferry people and goods around the sanctuary on these roads, but traffic jams are the worst. Fishermen love Fish Island because they get the first opportunity to try to catch anything that comes down the waterfall. Fishing in the lake below is usually not as good because the fishermen get to all the good stuff first. Their catch include cat-sized shrimp and bull-sized crab. In the design district, sanctuary citizens work together to unite silk, insect skin, metal, and mushroom spore components to create armor, weapons, furniture, accessories, and more. The Earth Temple requires a license to enter. Inside, sanctuary citizens can mine stone to build more houses, ores that can be smelted into armor and weapons, and, very rarely, relics from a long-forgotten civilization. The forest gate keeps the sanctuary protected from the horrifying giant insect predators that roam the deadly forest outside. It is manned at all times by multiple groups of high-ranking cadets. Hunters are the only sanctuary citizens that have permission to leave and return through the forest gate. Merchants from all over the sanctuary gather in the market to trade in insect skin, mushroom spores, giant seafood, relics, silk, metal, and a whole bunch of other goods. Sanctuary citizens can rent and own property all over the sanctuary. There are also empty lots where citizens can build new homes. The fire temple is full of lava and heat, which makes it a natural work area for blacksmithing. Ore mined in the Earth Temple must be smelted down and beaten into shape in the Fire Temple before it can be turned into armor and weapons. Sanctuary citizens must have a license to get in. The beetles that power the sanctuary need somewhere to sleep too. After a long day of pulling beetle taxis, powering the elevators, and hauling goods, the beetles crawl into their beetle burrow. Giant silk moths fly back to their nests to sleep after a long day cycle of ferrying citizens around the sanctuary. In their nests, the silk moths create silk, which is processed into textiles in the air temples. 3 air temples handle all the sanctuary's silk production. They're located on rock ledges that loom high above the sanctuary. Here, silk from the silk moth nests is processed into textiles and cloth. A giant waterfall streams down from an opening in the crystal ceiling and forms a river that cuts through the middle of the sanctuary. The water becomes an expansive lake at the bottom of the sanctuary before rushing down another hole called the abyss. Random creatures and objects often fall down the waterfall, which keeps things interesting. The sanctuary ceiling is made of shining purple crystal. The waterfall flows out of a hole in the crystal. Sanctuary citizens who want to become hunters have to pass the cadet exam first. After serving as a cadet for at least 1 year, citizens can apply for the elite hunter exam. Hunters gather at the Hunter Temple before missions. The Light Temple is the headquarters of the priests, who act as the sanctuary's administrators, doctors, historians, researchers, and educators. Sanctuary citizens create unique furniture and artwork for their homes from the resources of the cave they live in. It's also a great place to show off relics. Each condo has its own unique sanctuary key. Sanctuary citizens need a license to enter the water temple. Inside, citizens can trade for fish and water resources, buy equipment for diving and fishing, and even rent a water strider insect to travel across the lake. A large body of water gathers at the bottom of the sanctuary. Water strider insects ferry sanctuary citizens across the lake in no time. Citizens often dive into the lake to look for seafood and treasures. The lake continues under the porous rock of the sanctuary, forming dark water caverns where hardly any sanctuary citizens dare to go. Some monster or other always seems to find its way into these caverns, but there are rumors of valuable relics here too. Children of the sanctuary are sent to school here, where they learn about the history of the sanctuary and train to take jobs. The ceremonial ledge is where the most important ceremonies of the sanctuary are held, such as school graduation, marriages, and the goddess reunion ceremony. Water from the river flows into the lake, and then into the abyss, a huge hole at the edge of the lake.